Greetings, this is garthrs, the tireless adventurer, another episode of Life is Feudal tutorial. This is tutorial number 2. We're going to show you some basic functions and tools and junk. Last episode we made a shovel. Yes, it was epic. Anyways, the shovel is used to terraform, flatten, plow, things like that. A very key note is before you can do anything with rock, you are going to have to get your terraforming up to 60 in order to dig tunnels for rock. You see what we're doing there? So let's go ahead and let's figure out how we're going to do that. First off, we're going to make another tool. And initially what we're going to make is, I already made one because the first tutorial was poop. Anyway, so I've got a couple of things we're going to do today, and primarily with tools and early game food. So that is definitely something we're going to have to do. So let's go with a primitive tool. And we are going to make a primitive fishing pole, which looks like that. It takes like about a week to make. You need 1 stick and 2 plant fibers. That is it. So how do we use a fishing pole? I will tell you. But first, I want you guys to see what it looks like when it's equipped, because it is funny. Look at that. That thing is huge. All right. So if you go to your map, you'll notice that we are near water. Closer that way. So let me get over to the water and I'll be right back. Alright, well, as we approach the water's edge, you will note that it is creeping up on daytime, so it might be a little bit brighter here in the very near future. And I'm going to show you one of the best ways early game to get food. It's not always the easiest, but it is, in my opinion, the best because it creates the best food. So walk up to the water and you right click and select fishing, or use its default with the right click button, and then you just wait and wait and wait. He'll go through that animation about 3 times per use of the skill. Yes, yes, yes. We're all very interested in watching you fish. This part of the game is very relaxing. I mean, if you just set your fishing default, I didn't catch anything. But had I caught something, it would look like this. Now, there's several different kinds of fish that you can catch. There's trout, there's herring, there's codfish, and there's salmon. So, now that we've caught a fish, what are we going to do with it, Garth? I don't know. I really don't know what we're going to do with it. You know what? I think we're going to cook it. So let's come over Cha and right click on the ground, and you see under the forestry option we have create a campfire. Now I kind of did that backwards, but you don't want to be standing in the square because that's where it's going to create. So you go to forestry, create a campfire, select campfire, and build. Now you notice what is this? These are places that you can't place it, and these are places that you can. Now I can rotate it, I can move it like that, or actually you can place it there, but that's not active. So let's put it right here in front of us, and let's turn it at a really weird angle just to be different, and click build. And he will begin to build it. He's building a campfire, which also takes a long time. Oh my god, that's a sign. That's not a campfire. What are you doing? Alright, well, here's the thing. With these signs, there's only certain places you can look at them where you'll actually get options. So you have to kind of find that spot, and then you right click and you go create campfire, which will bring up this menu right here, which requires 5 sticks. Now we just happen to have 5 sticks, and what you can do is just drop them like that, and it'll take 5 sticks out, and you can totally build your campfire. So you bird it. Now the 5 sticks you just put in there to build it do not count as fuel. This is building materials. Alright. And now we have a campfire. Isn't that awesome? Didn't require any stones to build or anything, but it has them around there. Okay. So we're going to add some fuel. And the way you would add the fuel, obviously. And I'm just going to put the fuel in there for now because I don't have what I need to cook. And you're like, hold on a second, we just started this campfire and you're not even going to use it? No, I'm going to show you another thing that's very important. In order for you to cook food, you must make a primitive cooking pot, which requires sticks and a rock. Oh, how are we going to get a rock, Garth? Well, I'll show you. I need to replenish my sticks real fast because I just used all... Actually, they're right here. I'll just get it back out. Add some fuel. Just gammy. And then we'll just... Because we have to go get rock anyways. So we'll just get some more sticks while we're out. We'll build our campfire up that way. Now, the best way to get rock is, of course, to mine it. However, you cannot mine until this gets to 60. Because in order to get a rock, you have to dig a tunnel. Unless you can find them laying on the ground somewhere. And sometimes if you're on a multiplayer server, people will just dump their inventory of rock somewhere, and you'll just see a pile of rock, which you could pick up with a shovel. So, what we need to do is get our terraforming up to 60. And the best way to terraform is to flatten ground. And when flattening ground, this is kind of a key thing. We're going to flatten to this square. So we don't want to flatten this square. We want to flatten this square. Go to terraforming, flatten ground. Now, as you'll see from here, in the terraforming, flatten opens up at 30. So if you don't have flatten as an option, you just have to raise and lower until you get to 30, and then you can start flattening. One of the byproducts of flattening is, of course, a inventory full of sand. Well, if that's on your beach. So we need to get our terraforming up. But as you can see, our terraforming is up to 53 right now, so that's not too shabby. That's actually pretty good. And you're like, why am I digging dirt? So I can get rocks. And you're like, this is the way the game works. You have to level up those skills. So right now we're at 55. We should 2 more of these and we'll be good to go. And then I will show you how to make and use a pickaxe for rock. Mining is going to be completely different, for the record, in case you're curious. There we go. And flatten one more time. Oh, wait, what is that? Oh, that's not something I can dig. It must be stone. Yeah, if you get to a material that you can't mine or affect using your current tool, you don't get the option to do anything with it. So let's just do this a few more times. I'm just using flatten because it does the most. I think raise or lower doesn't really do much. And I will show you a little trick right after this. When you have inventory full of crap. And you're like, I don't want this crap in my inventory anymore. Open up your inventory. And I'm also overburdened by it. Right click on it and pour on ground. Now watch the bottom right hand side of my screen. Watch what happens to my terraforming when this is done. Oh, what? It went up? Of course it did. Now when you dump it in the same number of increments that you picked it up in. So if you picked it up in 30, you'll dump it in 30. You picked it up in 15, you'll dump it in 15. That's how that works. And sand is apparently very heavy. All right. And now that we have terraforming of 60, hello sun. Now that we have a terraforming of 60, let's go ahead and make a pickaxe. It's going to be a primitive tool, obviously, because we are primitive. We are cavemen. We're going to go ahead and primitive pickaxe, which is 1 stick, 1 useful flint, and 3 wild plant fibers. Click. And of course, we will make that pick now. Now, you want to kind of move quickly with this in early game because your hunger will run out if you take your time like I'm doing. But I'm a professional video gamer. No, you're not, Garth. Yes, I am. You stop talking. Anyways, let's take that fishing pole in there because we have our fish. We don't need it anymore, right? Oh, God, it takes forever, by the way. I hate it. I hate fishing. But it's a good way to get food. Because I'm bored. You know, I like to I'm just moving the tool over. You guys know how to do that. All right, so now that we have this nifty 50 pick, it's convenient. I don't have to run all the way over where some of that is. If you look right here now, where that stone was before, and I go to terraforming, I have the option to dig a tunnel. Because I have the proper tool and a terraforming of 60. So now let's go whack. 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 Come on, come on, come on, come on. Whack. Come on. Alright, we got 40 rock out of that. Pretty impressive, huh? Yeah, I know, right? Let me see if he's got any sticks. No, I can't get sticks out of that. We'll go over to sticks and get sticks like we're supposed to get. We'll get sticks like men. Men, manly men. That's what rock looks like in your inventory right here, by the way. And you can use rock for a lot of things. and I will show you what our primary goal for the usage of it is this time. I just need to get a couple of branches, because I'm definitely going to need a bunch. And remember, I have my forestry locked, so you're not going to get any, or I won't get any points for this, but a good way to get points, first of all, is to inspect the tree, and then just get branch, get branch, get branch, or get sapling or sprout or whatever it is. All right, so he has 2 branches and 1 apple. Oh, this is an apple tree! Oh my god, I can't believe I found an apple tree. This is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a sprout on this one. Apple trees, that's great long-term food. Because there's 2 types of food that you can have in this game. That's long-term food and short-term food. Short-term food is going to be your early game concern, and the rest of the concern is going to be with long-term food. You want to make sure that you get as much long-term food going as you possibly can, or get really good at fishing. I remember what I told you earlier about the skill cap being 600. You know, if you get your fishing way up, and let's say fishing right here, you can snare animals. You get it up higher, you can use animal traps, you can track big animals, you can gather alchemy ingredients from animals not implemented yet. Alright, anyway, so we got a couple of branches there. Let's get one more, and I will show you exactly what we're going to make with these branches. Now this episode, I'm only showing you how to do food, but I'm also showing you how to do, there's nothing left together. I'm also showing you how to get the stone, because it's needed for the cookware. So if you want a more in-depth mining tutorial or digging tutorial, one is forthcoming, so don't worry about that. This one is very minimal, just so you can know what you need to do to get what you need to get. Make sense? Makes sense. Now, we could probably eat this salmon, but it's not going to be good. I don't even know if you can eat raw salmon. I mean, there's sushi. You know what I'm saying? There's totally sushi. So let's go ahead and right-click on this. Create primitive tool. And what we're looking for right here is a primitive cooking pot, which is 1 rock and 2 sticks. Beautiful. Isn't that epic? It's pretty epic, huh? You know it is. Now, this is what's considered a small pot, or a small tool, so we can hang this off our belt. Look at this, man. We are already full up with all that rock. Ugh. Let's go over here. Let's go over here for a second and get rid of some of the dirt. Drop this dirt. 138 out of 133. There we go. Pour it on the ground. 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 Now we do have a whole lot of rock, so if we wanted to, we could. Actually, let's do that. Let's go right over here and just pour that on the ground, because we're not going to need any more rock right now, and if we do, we can always come right over here with a shovel and pick it right back up. You see what I'm saying? Booyah. Booyah. Alright, so now we have this little tool. We drag it over here. It'll fit on one of these smaller ones. You could also put it up here if you want, but I recommend smaller tools on the smaller side. So now that we have that, what do we need? We need sticks in the fire. Alright. Light on! Put that in there. And click light on. And now the fire is lit. Oh yeah. You right click on it, go to farming and prepare. And then we have fried salmon right there on the very top of the list. We need 1 salmon. Now you have to have that cooking pot equipped to do this. So make sure you equip the cooking pot before you get this option. Right click on the fire, go to farming, go to prepare. This is a very simple food that you can make with very little difficulty. It takes a little bit to cook though. Now you want to put around 5 sticks in there. I only had 4, so if the fire goes out before we're done, I'll just pretend like it didn't happen. But I'll show you here what to do with it in a second. This is a long, drawn-out process. And as you'll notice down here in the bottom right-hand corner, our farming will go up when we prepare food. The higher your farming is, the better cook you are. The better cook you are, the better the food quality is. Remember in the first tutorial we were talking about the food multipliers and stuff like that. However, right now, I am not a good chef. It's got 11 quality. That is not good. So let's go ahead and eat it. Now we're currently at 84, and I believe fresh out this is like 15 or 20 on the hunger. But let's go ahead and eat it anyways. He's a very sloppy eater. Look, okay, so it gave me 11. So I guess the food quality on that was 11. I'm guessing it probably gives you 10. Alright, so now we have some early game food. Oh yeah, son. So let's go work on late game food, which is actually fairly simple. I have the shovel already, which is all I really need. I might need a sickle to gather these plants. So, oh, I'm out of breath. See what I was talking about? See, this is a perfect example. That was at 106, and because I used up all of my stamina and it had to regenerate 100 stamina, it went from 106 to 105. Now, in order to get that back up to 106, I need 40 seconds and 1 hunger. Ugh. Oh my god. Yeah, that's why you don't want to sprint everywhere. But I'm in a tutorial mode, and this guy, you know, he's a jerk face, and I've got an entire village over there that can totally help me out if I get hungry. I mean, I go show up begging, and drops will throw rocks at me until I leave, or maybe a biscuit. So let's get some more branches. Oh, hold on a second. I had a third option there. What was that third option? Is this an apple tree? This might be an apple tree. Let's see if I can find an apple. Gather apples. This is an apple tree. Sweet. Another short-term food fix. I like it. Apple trees are awesome. There's nothing left to gather. I should have inspected it first. So I didn't waste my time on that. Let's get this up there. What were we going to make? A sickle. There we go. So we need a couple more branches. I think we're good with that. A sickle is also a small tool. So let's go to primitive tools. Sickle. Sickle. 1, 1, 1. Boom. Alright, so let's make that sickle. Make that sickle. Make that sickle. This is taking forever. My god. It takes forever. As you level up certain areas, things will happen quicker. This is what I wanted to do. And then this is what I wanted to do. And then we take the sickle and we drag it right over here. Now remember earlier we were talking about your strength garners your equipped encumbrance level. We are currently at 25 of 24, which means I have 25 pounds worth of crap, or 25 stones worth of crap equipped, which is going to affect how quick my stamina goes down the whole 9 yards. So we need to get that down below 24. Now willpower affects your total carry rate, but strength affects your equipped rate. So let's go over here to this, and I believe you needed a sickle to do it. Let's go to farming, gather wild plants, and we'll just make that. Yeah, you picked up the sickle. And this is how we're going to start our long-term food. I'm trying to kind of rush this along because I have a finished product to show you guys over at the main place, and I don't want it to go bad before I can get to it. Because if you don't harvest your stuff before it goes bad, it'll go bad. That's basically it. This takes forever, by the way. Pretty much everything in this game, early game, takes forever, so be prepared for that. Come on! Oh, hey, I got grapes, but I can't plant them. You can't plant grapes until, like, later. I'll show you this real fast. Farming, I can plow the earth and gather basic seeds. At 30, I can sow and harvest all crops. At 60, I can plant farms, apple, mulberry trees. At 90, I can fertilize soil and use advanced plow. Constant 5 luck when making farming operations. Now, this says you can gather basic seeds. This says you can sow and harvest all crops. But I have noticed that that is not true. Early on, you can sow, but you can't plant all kinds of junk. We got some wheat there. That's good. Alright, so let me show you how to use this. First off, let me, just because I like it, I'm going to flatten this. I can already dig a tunnel. There you go. Oh yeah, that's right. I can dig a tunnel in dirt too. So let's flatten that ground just one shot. And I have plenty of space in my inventory. And then after you have flattened it, or it's where you want it to go, you go to farming and plow, and he'll use that shovel again. And I did get fertile soil out of that. Jealous? I know, right? Nobody has as much fertile soil as me. This is taking for freaking ever too. Everything takes forever in this game. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I really do enjoy it. I've enjoyed the crap out of it, and I've only been playing it about 3 days. It's just, and one of the reasons that I'm making this tutorial is because I had so much freaking problem doing things. You know what I'm saying? You notice that we don't have any option to plant anything yet. So that's why you need to get your farming up as far as you can. However, with the option right here would be, when you go to farming, it would be down at the bottom, and it would say like plant or sow a pea, sow a carrot, sow a corn, sow a wheat, or whatever, and that is where you would do that, and it takes forever to grow. So let me go show you what 3 days worth of growth is when I've cheated twice. So I'll be right back. Alright, so we are back, and these are crops that are pretty much fully grown. Now remember, you cannot harvest anything until you get at least a farming of 30, and the best way to get your farming up is to I believe you get it for plowing. That's terraforming, never mind. You definitely get it for gathering wild plants. So just do that, and do that, and do that, and do that, and do that until it's done. Now this is wheat, so I'll just show you how to do this real fast. You right click on it. Oh, it's not ready, that's why. Oh, I thought it was ready. It's still not ready. Tell me that's not some crap. Oh my god, it's still not ready. But it goes through like basically 5 stages, and I could have swore that this was going to be ready. Oh my god. You know what? I am totally going to GM mode this so you guys can see. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. So you guys can see. GM mode is on, and then you just simply use the grow command, which is 1 day. And then I can turn off the GM command, and boom. And now we have to wait a little bit before that comes up. But just so you know, this is what crops will look like when you get in there. But when you plant them, they don't have to be flat. You can tell that this terrain is not flattened, and plowing the terrain will actually kind of wiggle it up a little bit. So actually, let me come over here to terraforming, and we'll observe the ground, and you can see that it is by no stretch of the imagination super duper flat. It looks very crooked, but the numbers when you plow it, they help out. So does that make sense? Because you see they're all 5.5, but you can tell just by looking at it that they're not flat and level. You see what I'm saying? Alright. Get out of there. Boom. Just wanted to show you guys that. It won't look flat and level, but it's considered flat and level. How's that? Does that make sense? Okay. Perfect! And I need to come over here. I don't even know if I can plant this yet. Can I plant this? I'm going to try right here. Forestry. Nope, I cannot plant apple. Nope. Anyway, so this is one of the long-term foods right here. Now we already showed you fishing, which is a great way to get short-term food. We already showed you farming, which is a great way to get long-term food. But another way to get short-term food is with your nature's lore and gathering abilities. Now, depending on where you're at, like if I'm over here, I look for edible roots with nature's lore. Search for something edible. And he digs around the dirt until he finds something that looks like he could stick it in his mouth, and that's exactly what he does. He doesn't really eat it all the way. You know, he just puts it in his pocket. Maybe he licks it clean first, so it doesn't have all that dirt on it. I didn't find anything. But what you're going to look for is an edible root. So let's go one more time. It'll say edible taproot. Oh, coffee is so delicious. Pretty much all I can drink right now or eat. All right, come on. Holy moly. Yeah, most people would like fast forward through this, but I just like spending time with you guys. It's my favorite thing. So we're going to do it one more time, and if it doesn't, I'll just give myself one so you can see what it looks like. Because I'm a big fat cheater. And I have really bad luck. Oh, edible taproot. There we go. Edible taproot looks like that. You notice I have 86. When I eat it, I should get like 2 or 3 from it. So it'll go either 88 or 89. 89. So I got 3 out of that. That's not too shabby. You can also eat the stuff that you find. I don't think you can eat wheat, but if you come over into the woods, and you can tell that it's different by the type of plants that are growing there, you notice I have a new option, gathering. Remember, gathering shows up when nature's lore gets to 30. That's why I put it at 45. So we can gather berries and we can gather mushrooms. So let's go ahead and make that the default one right there. And we'll do this a couple times. This is also a little more reliable as far as food sources go. I'm going to say this now, and it's going to make me look like a liar, but I've always been able to find berries and berries more often than I've been able to find edible taproots. This is going to make me a liar. This is going to make me a liar. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Oh, you're going to do it. You're a jerk face. But if you can search for berries, the option will be there. If you can't search for berries in that location, the option will not be there. So it's not like there's no chance for berries. You jerk face. This guy sucks. He's horrible berry picker. Come on. There we go. Edible berries. Nice. Took 5 times that time. Right there is where they are. Now you look at them at 88 right now. I eat it. I believe this takes me up 4, so I should go to 92 when this is done. However, the complexity. Oh, that only did me 1? That's weird. Oh, it might be because the last couple of things I ate were really low complexity and really low quality. That is probably what it was. Because remember what I talked about in the first episode with your hunger? It depends on the last 5 things you've eaten and their complexity / quality modifier. That's probably what it is. But as you can see, you can feed yourself off of berries and roots, which is what you're going to have to do while this thing takes a metric week to grow. I'm not kidding you, people. Forever. 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 This is cabbage. I believe this is peas. This is potatoes, and these are onions. And if you, the more things you can add to, a food, the more complex it gets. Do I have any? I don't have any. Yeah, I have a stick. And let's do that. Let's add some fuel. Let's see what other options I can get to. Light on. Bloop. Didn't work. I guess it has to be at least 4 or 5. Anyway, with the foods that you can make, the more you can add to them, the more complex they are, the higher the quality, the higher the bonus you're going to get from them when you eat them. So that's the important part that you want to look for. Now, today we covered short-term food, i.e. fishing, berries, and taproots. That was not necessarily in order. We covered fishing and cooking a fish and a little bit of tool creation in the process because we needed to get our rock and we needed to get our sickle and junk like that. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment box below. I will put links to the wiki, as always, in the description, when the wiki is going to be your primary source information, but it is not complete, so feel free to complete it if you know what you're doing. If you also have any tips or things you want to share with the general public, feel free to drop that in the comment box below as well. Thank you for your time and appreciate you stopping by, and as always, this is my butt. No, I'm just kidding. You know, you guys are the best. Alright, talk to you later. Bye-bye.